Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I don't know where I am. Where are we? That'll do. Let me just take these away. Right, I'm here. A few from the sidelines. Hammond's polls. Mad weekend, and I just want to adjust a few things with the side Benrahma thing. There was a show earlier on today. They know who they are, saying about Side Benrahma. Anyone who can criticise this man, and this season hasn't even ended yet, does not know what they are talking about. The man's played 12 games, 7 wins, 4 draws, 1 defeat. So I will keep pumping that out. And when he does score, right, I will laugh in everyone's faces because this boy's a talent. He's a top class talent. And basically, he hasn't been given the fair crack of the whip. So, yeah. West Ham Online the other day turned around and said that Mark Noble was possibly injured for this game. So we've got a possible injury problem in midfield. Now, for me, it's a Benrahma straight away. He has to come in, comes in and plays. So I don't get it. I don't understand it or whatnot. Caffel, how you doing, sir?
Good yourself, James.
Hello. Oh, mate, wonderful. I've just done all that on there, and I've just had to do it. I've got to do a live, mate, because I can't sit back on my morals. And
I was just enjoying my dinner watching that.
Yeah, I don't get it. How can anyone judge this man when he hasn't played? Like, it just makes no sense, in my opinion.
See, I'm on like no side of the argument because I can see like points from each side of it. That's the sort of thing. It's the same with the Fornals Benrahma debate. I want both of them to succeed. It's just people seem to try like pigeonhole you into one opinion. You can't like both, and it's sort of that's the thing. I that's why even you might say I'm sitting on a fence, but that's just the way. I don't think you have to have sort of an extreme opinion on every side of it. You can like both sides.
Oh yeah, I totally agree, mate. But the problem is with it, and I will say this yet again, right, is that when a man is getting 6 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, and 20 minutes a game, right, and everyone says, yeah, but he made a mistake again in the Arsenal game. Cresswell made a mistake in the Arsenal game and all. Let's not forget that. And Cresswell was like is much needed at the club. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it.
I think it's the fact that people, and obviously Moyes as well, people don't trust him yet because he hasn't got the opportunity to prove himself yet. And I know he hasn't had the opportunity to do it. It's just people will jump quickly enough since it's nearly a season now. He hasn't had the chance. They just sort of jump to the conclusions of it.
Yeah, but our fan base is a reactionary fan base. It always has been for years.
I'd say every fan base is if you're actually in it. Like if you're on the Twitter for it and all.
I don't know, mate. It's been many times that it's just like West Ham fan base is like, oh, you know what, get him out. He's no good. Do you know what I mean? There was like it with Marlon Airwood. There was like it with Zamora. You know what I mean? There was like it with Colton Cole, who's an icon at the club.
Yeah, I know that. That's one I'll never understand.
Yeah, and it's just like I just don't understand the sort of any washing machine chat. How long you got, Luke? How long you got, mate? Trust me. I just don't understand it. Like, obviously, we've got injuries on Monday, right? Don't be surprised if Ben Johnson's sitting in that midfield on Monday because it would not surprise me the slightest.
Nothing. I'll be more surprised if Benrahma starts than any of that sort of stuff. Nothing's really surprising now.
If Benrahma starts, I fancy him to score. And that's me being honest, right? I really do. I fancy him to.
I'd be hopeful. I can't say I fancy anyone because, you could say maybe Lingard and Bowen because they've proved it. I couldn't say I fancy Benrahma because he hasn't proven it to me, but I'd love to see it.
The problem is when I've got people saying about, he's not good enough. How can you judge someone, right, when he hasn't even completed a full season yet? Like, I I just don't get it. Like, do you know
think
what I
more
mean?
people might be saying they even. I know there's a lot of people on that sort of the extreme side saying he's shite and all, but I think there is also a lot of people who just think Moyes thinks he's not good enough. It might not be their own opinion. They just sort of think that Moyes doesn't fancy him.
For me, this is my opinion, yeah, and I've got such a strong opinion on this. I believe Moyes is cutting his nose off to spite his face, and I don't think he fancies him at all. He doesn't want him because he only signed it. And Joe what? Luke's just put a banging comment up, right? Absolute banging on the money, yeah. And this is the comment, yeah. I fancy him starting Yarmouth up front as we lack any height in the box versus Chelsea. 100%.
You can see it happening, but
surprised.
Yarmolenko can't jump to save his life. His knees are gone as well.
Yeah, but that doesn't surprise me, mate. And I've called that and all. He will play Yarm up front with Lingard and Bowen behind, and probably have like 4 nails.
Oh yeah, nothing will surprise me. I'd be more surprised with Benrahma starting than that.
I just don't get the fascination with it. I've sent a link to Gatesy. If Gatesy wants to come on, he's more than welcome to come on anytime. Yeah, Duke. I'll deal with Duke on Tuesday when Benrahma scores, because let's be honest here. How many assists? Benrahma should be on 10 assists. If Antonio,
at least 7 or 8,
yeah, like he should at least be on 10. I think. Like Antonio is at the bar about 6 times when he's assisted him. Like
the Palace game, wasn't it?
Yeah, you got 4 at Palace. You got 1 against Arsenal. That's 5 straight away. There's been other games. I think you hit a post against Aston Villa away.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
I can tell you, there's been so bloody many of them.
Yeah. So chuck your comments in. If I'm talking rubbish, tell me. Yeah, in the comments below. Right. If I'm talking sense, tell me. I just don't get it, mate. I just don't understand it. And on Monday, will confirm it for me, and I will go on the biggest platform going on West Ham Fan TV, and I will say it loud and clear, right? And I know that when I do say it, it will get back to the West Ham media, because I just think there's an agenda there, mate. It's just he's done one mistake.
Do you think it's club based or fan based, though? Because that's the thing. The fans, there's many an agenda with the fans. Like that's the thing.
I just don't
there's
think
a Fornals agenda and there's a Benrahma agenda. There was a Haller agenda. There's an Antonio agenda at times.
I just think this is what I think. Yeah, when you are looking at a player that you want and you get given something else, that doesn't really match it. Yeah, Moyes could either do one or two things: help him develop, right, and give him confidence, or just use him as of when, as a make weight, right, and go, you know what, he's not my player, but I'm going to use him until I can get rid of him. And that is the attitude that I see on David Moyes, 1,000%.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
right. Every time he comes off the pitch, he's got not an arm around Benrahma. He's not saying like, "Well done, mate." He's not geeing him up. He does one thing wrong.
Well, he's not the most. He's not the most sort of, what would you even say, emotional sort of manager like that. It's only at the extreme time. Moyes, he's not like the most sort of pat on the back. He does it with Lingard a bit.
Yeah,
but
he does it with Lingard. He does it with Rice. He does it with a few of them, mate. But
see, they're his assets as well. They're the lads he needs at the club. He doesn't need Benrahma right now because he's not bloody playing him. Yeah,
100%. And the thing is, I don't see from an attacking threat, what Benrahma's done wrong. He can beat any man in front of him. Right, I've seen him do it. Right, and what he does, and when people keep slagging him off, right, and keep saying it, he takes 2 people out of the game. Because what they do, they try and double up on him, which leaves the space open for Lingard and Bowen just to run free. So you imagine if you're playing a 4-2-3-1 system, and you've got Benrahma on the left hand side, and he's up against their left back. Now, if he's skimming their left back, their defensive midfield player has to come across and go.
See, I think he has the potential to do it. It's just he hasn't had as much. He hasn't had the opportunity to show that yet. He's done it a few times. Yeah, I agree that he's sort of had his moments, but I know it's also because he hasn't played a lot. But he hasn't sort of shown that yet. He hasn't got it, but he has the ability to. He has that inside him, and he has if he's given the chances, or maybe just, I don't even know what it is. If he needs to just probably just play more and get a bit more confidence in him. He has the ability to do that.
The thing I can't understand is people are sitting there criticising a man who's getting 15 minutes, 6 minutes, 12 minutes a game. Like, that just makes no sense. And then people say, you know what, bring Connor Coventry in, right? These people have never seen Connor Coventry in their life. And like, that's what baffles me. It's like, you're going, you know what, we're going to get a 21-year-old.
The Connor Coventry thing is, he's needed and he plays the position that's needed right now.
He ain't good enough, mate.
And I can't say if he is or he isn't, but I presume he would have been playing already if he was. Maybe he's good enough as like a bench player, but if he was good enough, I think he would have already played by now.
Exactly that.
Josh Cullen sort of situation.
Exactly that. That is a banging. That's exactly how I feel. If it like when Rice was in the team many moons ago, 18 years old, you could see a development. The boy is 21 years of age.
As well.
Even Oxford, yeah. And he gets in there, and he's like, "Oh, hold on a minute!" Like, everyone's saying, calling for Coventry to come in, right? The moment I knew, right, that Connor Coventry isn't fancied by Moyes either, yeah, was when the last game against Chelsea, he brings on Manuel Lanzini to take Noble's place. That's when I knew it, right? Because Manuel Lanzini's never been a midfielder in his life. Do you know what I mean? Benrahma's a Haller Mark II, both good players. Problem is the player system game and Moyes' systems are a mismatch. Yeah, but I'm telling you, saying, like, see, words and pictures, yeah? Should we have got rid of Haller in the January window? No, because we've got no striker, right? So that's a wrong move straight away. Benrahma, right? How can anyone compare him to Haller when he's done more than Haller? Right? To me, he's influenced more games than Haller does.
I couldn't agree with that one myself.
Yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Haller. Now, I wanted him to succeed and all, but whenever he played, I knew he wasn't. Well, for Pellegrini, he was a good footballer. I'll give him that. I know he wasn't a Moyes player then. I wouldn't say he was a bad player. He just wasn't a Moyes player. He didn't have the energy for it or the intensity even.
I just don't understand the hate, right? And there is hate because I'm seeing it on different platforms. I've seen it on different people saying.
The thing is, James, there's going to be hate in 10 years for whatever player we buy in 10 years. That's probably bloody not even born yet with the way things are going. Like, there's going to be hate every time. That's just the way fan bases are. It's the way our fan base is.
I don't know about that, mate. Not our fan base has always been the same, though, mate. Like a Bonner 2 years ago, people were literally screaming to get this man out of the door. Get him out. He's not good enough. He can't do it no more. He's our best defender at the club. Like, and do you know what? I can't listen to people keep saying he's not good enough when he hasn't even been here a full season. Like, he hasn't even. Like, you know what I mean?
I can never understand. Ogbonna had a bad run of form. I think it might have been the late sort of Bilic era to early, like Moyes' first era. He wasn't playing great.
See, I heard saying on when, like, because I'm going to speak about it now. Because I was on the chat, as you know, right, and I was like, "What's going on here?" Sort of thing. I'm hearing stuff about like we're better defenders. We had Carl Jenkinson at right back in 2016. Right, we had who else did we have? We had Winston Reid, who was good, but he wasn't great. I think we've got
Winston Reid was class back then. He was class, sort of 2015-16 era.
Yeah, but he was like, I agree, he was good. Right, he was a good defender. Ogbonna wasn't good back then, 100%, because Ogbonna was one of. He was a bit hit and miss.
I think Ogbonna was good. Then the late sort of Bilic era to Moyes, and then even the first season under Pellegrini, he was obviously still like a good player, but he wasn't reaching the potential of quality you knew he could perform at. Yeah, but would you even at times we were playing Balbuena and Diop ahead of him. They were our main centre back duo.
Yeah, but let's be honest here, right? We had people like Alex Song in defensive midfield, and then we've got Declan Rice and Souček in midfield.
Alex Song was so close. It was the last season with Sam. Alex Song was one of the best midfielders in the league. He was top class there. He was very good.
Yeah, but he's very good. But who would you rather have, Alex Song then or Declan Rice and Souček now?
Oh yeah, 100% Souček now and Rice. Yeah.
Well, so that sort of blows that out of that argument. You had Czech Karte, who was hit and miss. He was either very good or he was awful, right? And
he was
I
a
can't, I
donkey at
can't,
best.
I can't. And then we had like people like fucking Alfatano, I think it was, or whoever, or some other,
Oh, Morgan and Malfitano.
like Victor Moses and people like that, like coming at the club,
Yeah,
and I'm
it's a rat.
thinking, and I'm like, you know what? I can't be hearing it. I just can't be hearing it because, like, I know, yeah, I know for a fact you don't go in the in the championship. The Geezer was a good player. I've seen enough of him this season.
Hey, he was probably the best player in the championship.
Right, I've seen enough of him this season to go. You know what? This Geezer's got something, but he's got to play. Right, he's not been given no confidence by the management. He's been criticised all the time. He does one mistake, and like you're telling me the one mistake against Arsenal, and he's been benched for the last five. Four. Sorry, right. Last 4 games he's been benched. He was benched at Wolves, Leicester, Newcastle away, and Chelsea at home. But we're all here saying he's not good enough. But when he comes on, we're all hoping he scores. So it's
you can't sort of rely on him to be your super sub if you don't think he's good enough to start.
That's exactly that. So I can't understand that. Victor Moses, like Luke says here, I like Victor Moses. So did I, mate. I thought he was a good player, but
He's good energy as well.
We've got to roll back the times. Like, and when people said about Payet was a world class.
Payet was like in the Ballon d'Or nominations. Like, I think that's the problem. I think that's part of the reason the fan base are so outraged with sort of Benrahma stuff is because they were expecting a version 2 of Payet, which is expecting way too much.
Yeah, and I agree on that. I think people thought we've got the second coming, right?
Yeah, they thought there's this little tricky French sort of attacking midfielder coming in who likes to do some skills and all, and they thought we just had Payet, which.
And I can't understand. I have people, like the best way of describing it, is when Payet come, he lit it up straight away, right? But he was given like that first game against Arsenal. Go on, Dimitri, go out and play, bang, right? Crosses balls in, makes goals, everything. Right? I just can't see it that this man has played 12 games from the start. He's only completed 2 90-minute games, and people are saying, "Get him out. He's not good enough."
The difference is that was Bilic, who was a very attacking-minded manager, and now we have David Moyes, who is, I wouldn't say he's just defensive because we do attack. It's just he's a much more cautious manager. Like when. Bilic was a very frustrating manager at times because you'd go 1 or 2-0 down and he just put 3 strikers onto the pitch. We had too many strikers at that stage, and he just lumped lads on and say, like, that's why I called him he was like a B-Tech Klopp. I think the
problem
Charlie Walsh said that to me, and
it's what I just said. It's what I just said to you, Keffel, and I will stick with it, and I will stick it, and I will keep going, and I will keep backing this man up until the day I look at him and go, you know what, he ain't good enough. Because he hasn't been given a fair crack of the whip, right? He's not a defensive-minded player, right? So why is people saying, well, he's let someone run off of him? How many times has Cresswell run off of him? Right? Cresswell had people run off of him against Arsenal, and everyone's saying, you know what, we need Cresswell back. We do need Cresswell back because we ain't got another left-back at the club. That is the simple fact of the matter.
The thing is, Cresswell, and it's because he's got the opportunity, and he's been bloody one of the top appearance holders in club history in the Premier League. Cresswell's proven himself to people. Benrahma hasn't yet, and I know he hasn't had the opportunity to, but he hasn't got to prove himself yet. And
the thing is, you be in this sort of issue that we're discussing here. How can a man prove himself when he's not playing?
He's not on the. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I know.
Yeah, right.
It's unfortunate. It's just one we can't do anything about it. That's why I won't ever jump. That's why I can't jump on any opinions yet, because I do like him. Like, I won't say he's blown me out of the water when he's played. He has played well in games. He's been quiet in games like every player, but he hasn't had the time to sort of have a full opinion on it.
Well, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this question. Name me 2 games that you think, you know what, Benrahma has been brilliant in.
Was it Palace? One of them he played really well in. I'm not sure which Palace game. He was good in the Villa game. He was really good in the Villa game. Against Leeds, he was good as well.
Yeah. Now, I can probably name...
mid-table teams, you could say.
Right. I can name 5 teams, right, that he's played well against, right? Excuse me. Leeds home and away. The away game,
Yeah.
right? He had shots, but if you don't shoot, you don't score, right? But he was causing havoc, right? The Leeds home game with Jesse Lingard made the penalty, had a shot, went out for a corner comes in, we scored the second goal, right? Palace away, Lingard, Benrahma, Antonio, 3-man attack, right? We decided to go for it at Villa, and we rolled Villa quite comfortably, yeah? Palace away, he assisted Antonio 4 times, right? And Antonio hit the bar, hit the post, hit the geezer who's doing the fucking stewarding, right? And he probably hit the other post and all, right? So, do you blame Benrahma there, or do you blame Antonio? Like, how many chances does Antonio need to score a goal in a game? It's madness, right? So, and then the Arsenal game, and I will come to the Arsenal game because Moyes massively fucked it up in Manchester. He decided, oh, I'm going to go and set up with 8 defensive-minded players, and we're going to sit here for a draw, right? And then when he realised that we're not good enough to defend for the whole 90 minutes, right, and we go and lose the game 1-0 and don't even have a shot on target, right, in 2 games at Old Trafford, he decides that, oh, you know what, against Arsenal, I'm going to have to go for it here. I'm going to have to give the fans what they want. And in 32 minutes of that game, we blasted that Arsenal out of the ground and halfway down to fucking Edmonton in North London, right? The difference is you can't blame Benrahma for not defending when there's players there who are shit at defending, i.e. Cresswell loses Callum Chambers for the first goal. Dawson's all over the place for the second goal, right? For the goal to make it 3-2.
I kind of blocked that game out of my mind because it fucking pissed me off so much. I blanked it out.
The thing is, it's all up here with me, right? And I don't forget things, right? And and at the end of the day, we never paid £25 million plus £5 million for a player to defend.
Yeah.
We've asked him to be in.
That's why I don't think he's a Moyes signing, because Moyes wouldn't sign him for that much money if he's not going to be. Because Moyes will always get, that sort of defensive-minded player. Yeah,
and that's the issue, right? Jared Bowen, right? Before you went on his little goal-scoring spree, right? He was missing for 12 games and all. Right, nothing at Leeds away, nothing at Stockholm.
I agree. I thought for a while that Bowen should have been dropped. It's just he had proven himself before that he can score goals, and I think that was part of the.
Let's be honest here. 1 game, 1, 2, 3 games, fair enough, but 12. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, he's not. I don't think he's been given a fair crack for it. And I'm seeing the comments here, Charlie. He has. His job was to pick up the overlapping fullback. Where's Cresswell? Tell me where Cresswell is for that second goal, and I've got it on video, and I will bang it up on Twitter on Tuesday. Trust me, because I am done with people saying that Mazawaku's a good player when he's awful. Yeah, he's been with us 6 years and he can't even cross a road, then on a ball. Right? You got people saying about Benrahma. The geezer hasn't even finished the full season, and people are criticising him. They call themselves like fans. Fuck my life. Do you know what I mean? I don't get it. Don't understand it. Don't get it. And right. And I will keep backing this man up, and I will keep pushing out on every social media platform I'm going, right? Because I will not stop until that man starts playing games, because he is a top quality player. And I guarantee you now, and I will say it loud and clear, if he goes somewhere else, he will score multiple amounts of goals and make multiple amounts of goals. Do you know what I mean? It's too much sentimental stuff here. I'm sorry, but there is. Do you know what I mean? I don't know about you, Cathal, but what do you think on that?
Which one is it? Just on the defensive duties and all?
Yeah, like how can Dimitri Payet, right? People used to say to me, "Oh yeah, Dimitri Payet, yeah." He never used to defend in his fucking life.
Payet was a world-class attacker yet, and I know Benrahma could be, I suppose. He just hasn't had the opportunity yet. So it's really just opportunities. He needs the opportunity to get fully rated by us. And people are jumping to conclusions rating him badly. Like, I won't say he needs to start. I want him to. But he just needs more game time. It's simple.
So let me ask you this. If he don't start tomorrow, when we've got no midfield, right? We've got Conor Coventry can't go in there against Burnley, get tore to bits, right? Not good enough. Do you know what I mean? And all this. Everyone keeps telling me about Pablo Fornals. Keeps saying Pablo Fornals is this masterclass player who's like the next Iniesta. So Pablo Fornals will have no problem sitting in a defensive midfield position with Souček, then, would he? Right? And then the simple
I think he's
mathematics
able for it.
Well, I think it's common sense, if I'm honest. He's got the fitness. He gets around the pitch. He gets stuck in as well as everyone keeps telling me, right? But I could guarantee you now, I know what's coming, right? And I will be on it, right? Ben Johnson will be sitting in that midfield, right? Because he won't be Connor Coventry, right? People keep saying for Connor Coventry, mate. He's not good enough. No, right? He won't be good enough because he's not. He's got no experience, and you're going to chuck him in against Burnley. You're having a laugh, and you're going to get turned over. So yeah, he gets smashed to bits. Do you know what I mean? Ashley Westwood and all that lot, I'll just be straight into him, bull him off the ball, and they just double up on Souček, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? With us, with West Ham, it's always been the same, right? We are a reactionary fan base. When the player's not scoring goals, right? Because he don't score goals, yeah, he's this shit player that makes no sense, right? And I've just about had enough of it. I hope Benrahma does well. I never hope a West Ham player is anything but successful. However, the one thing is, don't see it. But doesn't mean to say it's right though, Rob. Yeah, because I can't keep hearing people slagging him off, saying he's not good, saying he's not doing enough. So you tell me what? Right, let's roll back. Yeah, because I know I'm going a bit of a rant here, but I've had a fucking gut for people keep talking bollocks. Right. The last game. Chelsea, yeah, he comes on. Yeah, we lose a player because he has a shot in the 93rd minute trying to change the game. People criticise, right? We done fuck all in the game, right? Before then, other than have a long range shot and have a free kick from Jesse Lingard that no one criticised because Jesse Lingard's been amazing and rightfully so, right? So that's the first thing. Newcastle away, we're down to 10 men. Get on, Benrahma, get on, quick, right? You've got to change the game for us, right? You've got to, right? This is like, what are we signing? A prime Messi or something? Like, what we're expecting this geezer like who's not good enough to come on and start
way too much,
right? So there's that one. The Leicester game, right? We're 3-0 up. We are cruising, right? Cruising along. Arthur Mazawaku decides to have like one of his like brain waves. Concede a goal. Concede another one. Benrahma comes on. We're defending mainly, so we're not an attacking threat. Yeah, he comes on for 12 minutes. Yeah, the game before that. Yeah, the Wolves game. He comes on for 6 minutes in a 3-2 game where we're defending yet again, and people have the audacity to criticise him and say to him, "No, you're not doing it, mate. It's not good enough." Does not make no sense at all. Do you know what I mean? And if you don't rate this man, right? How can you rate a man who you've not seen fully? Simple as that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you have to. He has to get the chance before he can be fully rated.
Yeah, and I can't be dealing with people saying to me that Benrahma's not good enough, mate. I've seen him all season. You've seen him. We've all seen him, right? Have we seen him play to his full potential this season? I haven't. Do you know what I mean? I've seen him play in games where he's turned games on their head, right? We went at another game, right, about Benrahma, yeah? Everton away, another game where we don't win up there. His work rate, and ask Scott this, yeah? Scott knows because Scott done the research for me, yeah? He was phenomenal in that game. Absolute
running he was sort of playing centrally, wasn't he? I remember the Everton game. He was doing constant press, and that's what I was saying. He was great in that game.
So I don't understand it. What else have we got here? Do you know what I mean? I can't be dealing with rubbish tonight. James, do you think that the signing of Jesse has provided an obstacle to Benrahma's progression in the team? Possibly. Yeah, that's a great point.
100%. Right? That's not even possible. That it has to.
But I will go back to it again. The Arsenal game is the key for me, right? And this is the key for me, right? When we go to Old Trafford and we did play how bad we played, and I knew what was coming up there when we set up like 8 defensive-minded players. You're setting up with Noble, Rice, Souček, and a back 5, right? That to me said it all, right? That you're going up there. He massively got it wrong up there, right? So he had to change something against Arsenal, and we was all screaming for it 4-2-3-1. Benrahma, Bowen, Lingard, Antonio. Right? What does he do? The next game he comes out. He sets up that. That formation, and we blast Arsenal out the ground. Fair enough. Fair enough. We drew the game. Yeah, but you can't blame Saeed Benrahma for us drawing that game, because it should be down to our defenders to defend, like Craig Dawson, like Cresswell. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, Fornals was a miss that game. Right, that's one of the misses that I would say he was a miss. But other than that, do you know what I mean? And there is an agenda against Benrahma. Yeah, because if you don't want him to do, like, if you don't think he's good enough, don't keep saying to him, get on the pitch and change the game for us. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing I can't understand when people saying to me, you know what? No, he's not good enough. He's not doing it.
I think everyone does. I like, if you don't want him to succeed, you're not a real West Ham fan. You're not a real fan, like, of the thing. You have to want every player that goes out there to succeed. Like, that's the thing. People can't be sort of giving out about it.
So let me ask you this, Cathal. Let me ask you this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So why do people that I keep seeing on different platforms keep turning around and saying that they want the man gone? Like to me, don't forget, we bought him. No, we fucking loaned him. Yeah, we loaned him in the August. We bought him in the January, and now we want to sell him in the summer. And people are saying to me, "Yeah,
I haven't seen anyone myself say they want him sold. I've seen people saying if he could be involved in like a swap deal for Tony, maybe, but I haven't seen anyone sold.
Yeah, but that's mental. That is mental. And if that happens, that is absolutely the worst transfer business I've ever seen in my life. Right, and I've seen some shit with West Ham. Right, I've seen us sign some absolute howlers of players, mate. Do you know what I mean? There's people on Twitter who have said it. Right, West Ham Online will know, because he's gone through it with me. Right, I'm not going to go through names. Yeah, but at the end of the day, there is a fucking agenda, because people should be calling for Benrahma. They should be saying, you know what, we want Benrahma in this team. Right, we've had enough of the fucking five at the back. Five at the back, Cathal. Yeah. This is what we've been playing, five at the back. We've conceded 11 goals in 5 games from playing five at the back. Yeah, fucking Newcastle scored 3 goals against us. 3. Newcastle United, this is.
I don't think it even is a 5 at the back. I think it's more like they're just 5 people there. I wouldn't call them all defenders the way we're playing.
Right, mate, we've conceded 11 goals. And teams that set up 5 at the back don't concede 11 goals. Right, we conceded 3 at Wolves. Right, 2 at Wolves, 2 Leicester. Right, fucking 3 at Newcastle. Right, do you know what I mean? So what's that? That's 7. Yeah, we conceded 3 against Arsenal. Yeah, even though it was a 4-2-3-1 system, but in the end we was going to a 5 at the back again. Right, and Chelsea 1 goal. And people are saying that we're going to go up there. Right, I've seen things today. Yeah. About people saying, oh, you know what? I've got no confidence tomorrow. No confidence whatsoever. Because West Ham don't win at Burnley, right? We struggle up there. We should be on the front foot, and we're worried about Chris Wood. Like, oh my God, right? And not like, people have been saying about Chris Wood this week because he scored a fucking hat-trick. Because the man scored an hat-trick.
Chris Wood has played well against us in previous games. I think Chris Wood's a good player. It's just
but where's he been? Where's he been? Do you know what I mean? I don't get.
The problem is, it doesn't matter if he hasn't been there all the time. If he does end up showing up against us, that's the issue. And he's one of those players that likes a game against West Ham.
I can't. What it is, right? We've got injuries now coming up to Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know Noble's not playing. Yeah. And I do believe what West Ham Online is saying, right? Because he knows what he's talking about.
He wouldn't want to go live and make a show about it if it's bullshit. Like.
Yeah. So, right, we know Noble's out. Now, to me, there is no other choice. Right? Now, if it comes to it on Monday and fucking Lanzini is in there, who's another player Moyes don't fancy, again, right, then you've got to ask yourself, what's the point of having Benrahma at the club? And I'll be the first one to say, what is the point? What is the point having a geezer who, like Moyes, is just cutting his nose off to spite his face, in my opinion. Like, he could have as I've said it before, and I say it again, he can have 12 players fit, and Benrahma will be the sub because he just doesn't want him. He's doing everything. What he's doing, he's doing the old classic thing. What he's doing, and he's making it art like so. He wants to leave. Like he ain't going to say to him, right? He can't say, "Oh, I want to sell him," but he's going to make it as difficult as he can so he don't play. Because there's been times this year where we've needed goals and all that, and there's been other players who have been in ahead of him. Do you know what I mean? And it says it all every time he starts from the front, he's the first one hooked. Why?
See, he's not an expensive person to have sitting around at the bench. He's on a 6-year deal on around £25,000 a week. It's not like sort of having someone like Anderson who's on 80 or 90 grand a week sitting on your bench doing nothing.
Yeah, well, I've had my little Benrahma moment, and I will keep having my Benrahma moment because with me, yeah,
I've heard plenty of Benrahma moments with you, James.
I know, mate. But the thing is with me, yeah, I when I have an argument that stands up, yeah, I won't back down. I just won't do it because at the end of the day, if this geezer had played 22 games, right, and he hadn't done nothing in 22 games, then I would respect that. Yeah, but substitute appearances, 6 minutes here, 5 minutes there. He played 1 minute against Liverpool away. 1 minute. And people are saying, you know what, he ain't good enough. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Debut. Yeah. And there's been other games this year. I'll tell you another game before I'll move on to that, because at the end of the day, this is the truth. Yeah. When we played Brighton on the 27th of December, right, and Scott then can vouch for him for this, yeah, and anyone who wants to tag him in it can tag him because he knows it and all, right. Benrahma gets called to get up and play, right. He's on the bench. He's ready to come on. We need a goal, yeah. Because Ben Johnson goes and scores to make it 2-2. Moyes goes, "Oh, sit down, mate. Sit down, right? We need to win the game." He doesn't go for it. Benrahma sitting on the bench, and that's the only game that he hasn't been involved in this season, right? From all the research that I've done, so I will stand up for Benrahma, and I can't keep having people saying he ain't good enough, right? Or he's not doing enough. Have a look at our manager, right? Our manager might have done well this year, right? In what he's done, yeah, but he's also made some fuck ups this year and all, right? Let's not forget that. Let's not forget Brighton at home, Chelsea away, Manchester United away. Do you know what I mean? Before we start going like he's the fucking saviour. So anyway, let's move on to the game on Monday. Tough game, Caffel. What do you think?
Yeah, as I've said multiple times, I do love Burnley. I think they're a class club, and I always hate when we're playing them. So that's kind of shows how annoying they could be. Yeah,
I believe so too, mate. Do you know what?
They're the perfect stumbling block. Like they're just the perfect stumbling block for our season and them sort of teams.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think this one obviously, I don't want to speak sort of in a way that says, you know what, common sense. Yeah, well, because obviously people can't deal with common sense sometimes. But what I think this game, if we don't win this game, it's good night Champions League. That's straight away. I don't think we get Champions League. I think we need to sort of. I think we need to go for it. All this, and I really do.
We need to go for every game. Every game left, we need to go for it. We have nothing to like. You can't say we do have nothing to lose because we're not going to get relegated, and we've a lot to gain if we do go out and just perform. There is a lot there to gain. At least Europa League. If we get 6 to 9 points, we're probably at least in Europa League.
Yeah. So what sort of game? What sort of game are you expecting West Ham to play against them?
Expecting and wanting is the problem. Wanting, I obviously want to sort of go flat back forward with a bit more bite to us, but I can't say I expect it.
I agree, mate. I do. I agree. I just think that we're going to set up 5 in the back and we're going to try and put all the pressure. Excuse me, we're going to soak up all the pressure, we're gonna try and hit on the break with Bowen, Lingard, and probably Fornals, because I think Fornals, and basically it's. I'm just not confident at all, mate. I think we've got no. I think if Cresswell's not back, if Declan Rice is fit, from what I'm hearing, right, I've seen it on Sky Sports News earlier on that they're expecting him to come back, then that's a massive boost. That is what we need.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
and
I think as big as we'll get.
Yeah, and then I'm hoping. This is what I'm hoping. Right, if Declan Rice sits in that defence with Souček, 4-2-3-1. That is the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can. Well, if you're going to play Fredericks over there, or you're going to play, you're going to have to play one of them. So we've got no left back at the club. We're going to have to play one of them. So
probably be Johnson on a flat back four, and that means Fredericks can go into Benrahma's position on the wing.
Mark, I think it's got to be a Bonner. That's the first thing. I think Bonner has to play. He was phenomenal against Chelsea. Man of the match for me, in my opinion. Thought he was top draw.
It's a Dawson game, though, isn't it? That's a Dawson game.
It is a Dawson game, but what Dawson are we going to get? Like, let's be honest.
See, I think Dawson was absolutely wrecked. That's the thing. Yeah. I know, and a lot of the time, like, yeah, he's not an amazing footballer, but he's solid. And he was wrecked, and he was getting reckless. He was sort of lunging into tackles and getting lazy because he didn't have the legs for it. Now he's had 2 or 3 weeks off. He should be well up for it if he's going to play, and it's the perfect game for him. He can bully. He can take that sort of bullying.
The problem is, right, and this is what I said on Forge for My Hands if they're watching, right, because I know Duke's watching, so I've seen about 1,000 comments. So what I said with Dawson is he has been crap in the last five games against Arsenal, right? No, I'll tell you what, let's go back even further than that, right? Against Manchester United, he concedes an own goal. We lose the game 1-0, right? That's the first thing, right? We play Arsenal. First half, very good. Second half, not so good, right? Nowhere to be seen, right? Against Wolves, right? He gets booked in the first 10 minutes of the game. He's walking a tightrope again in the first 10 minutes of the game. Manages to get over the line, right? Just get over the line, right? And get the games done. Get the game done, right? Leicester, we're 3-0 up. We're cruising. Then it all goes to pot, right? So he's in the defence again. And basically, he is a Watford reject because Watford didn't want him, Duke. Simple as that. Right, a Championship team says a Watford reject, right? Do you know what I mean? Like we've got a Manchester United reject in Lingard. So there you go, right? Where was I? Right, Leicester, right? He's in the defence again, right? Him and Diop all over the place yet again. Then we go up to Newcastle. A Bonner returns.
I don't think playing with Diop has helped him a lot, though. Diop is not a very confident player. I think, and even in the Newcastle game, I wouldn't even count that as like Ogbonna playing. That was like half of Ogbonna. That was just Og playing.
Yeah,
like he needed his while to get back to fitness. Now we have Ogbonna back there. I think someone like Dawson would be well suited for it. Even Balbuena, I'd rather them ahead of Diop. Like I think
Balbuena's too slow, mate. I think with me,
they have no pace up front though. It's not like Ashley Barnes or Chris Wood or bloody. What's your man Rodriguez or what's his name?
You got Dwight Neal, you got Josh Brownhill, you got Ashley Westwood, you got Ashley Barnes, you got Wood, you got Vidra.
They're not a very pacey team, but they're smart. Like they know what to do with it without the pace.
And the thing is with it, right? Is like I'll go back to what I was saying with Dawson quickly. We go up to Newcastle. Yeah, and he gets sent off on the 36th minute after 2 bookable offences. So he could have got sent off at Wolves. Like he was like walking a tightrope then. And for me, I just don't understand. Like with Dawson, I think he's run his race. I think what he's done is he's played in what he calls a full season, but half a season. Like I think he's knackered.
See, even for teams like Watford and West Brom, he wasn't an out-and-out starter every game. He wasn't like destined to be in there, so he's not used to that. And he is getting older now, so it's not like he is made for that. So I think even putting him in now after 2 weeks off is the perfect opportunity to show him. And if he plays shite and if he looks not up for it, I won't go and say he's a shite player, but I'll say he needs to be dropped then. But I'd certainly give him the chance because I trust him more than someone like Diop. I think.
Yeah, but I never forget though, Cathal, what Rob said. Yeah, Gatesy said. He said, "We're paying for what we're going to get, ain't we? Like we're paying £2.2 million for a £2 million player. We've not paid £2 million for a player who's going to be a top class defender.
But we never expected him to be. That's the truth, and he was better than we expected. And,
I'll leave it out. Cathal, leave it out. 6 weeks ago, everyone wanted him playing for England. Everyone said, "You know what, Dawson for England and all that," and like, you know what I mean? Like, so let's not get carried away.
There's also sort of a charm to him as well because you never expected anything, and we were all thinking he was going to be shite.
His performance has declined once his contract was. Gatesy, I've sent you the link, mate, on Twitter. If you're on there, jump on there if you want to come on quickly. More than welcome. Yeah, and like Gatesy said there about his contract. Now that wouldn't surprise me because as soon as
but his contract got assured when he was playing week in week out for however many weeks. I'd say he was tired by that stage anyway.
Now, what it was, I think he had 15 games. He had to complete 15 games to activate the clause in the contract.
And he played 15 in a row.
Yeah, but the thing was, before the 15th game, 14 of them he was all right in. Do you know what I mean? He was all right. He weren't too bad, but the other ones he was a bit.
He's solid. That's something like even when he's being shit, you can say he's a solid defender. He's not afraid to get rid of the ball, and which is very old style and doesn't suit modern football. But I prefer that in Diop sometimes.
Duke's asking for the link, right? Duke, I'll tell you what, because I know you didn't want me on your show, send me a message on either Facebook or Twitter, and I will send you the link, mate. You know what I mean? So I will send you the link. No problem.
He's eating his dinner.
Oh, Gates is making excuses. That's all right. Dawson signed as a backup, and that's exactly what we have. I don't think we see him repeat his early form. Would still pick him tomorrow. See, look,
exactly. That's literally the comment. That's him in a nutshell. There.
But
he probably won't repeat his form. But even if he has when you need him to throw him in there and just be a strong, solid, bloody lad who's not afraid to lump the ball away and he can score goals. Put him on. Like I like him. I don't think I wouldn't say he's shite.
But that comment, right? It says Dawson signed as a backup, and that's exactly what we have. I don't think we will see him repeat his early form. So, if we don't think we're going to see him repeat his early form, why the hell are we going to have him in our defence tomorrow? That's what I can't understand.
Because he can deal with that. Do you think Diop could deal with the manhandling of someone like Wood or Barnes? Diop's issues are with physical things. Yeah, if he has to make a last ditch sort of stretch tackle, he has the long legs and he's decent at that sort of stuff. But and he might score a goal. But the lad can't even jump to clear. He can only score headers. He can't really get rid of the ball that well because he doesn't jump half the time. Yeah, I know, but do you know what I mean? We did the same for James Collins earlier on. Yeah, like he's just put it there. Horses for courses. I agree with that. But you've also got to look at it in another way. That we've got a player there who got sent off last game, right? Got completely destroyed, and then we got the game previous to that, he nearly got sent off and all. Or 2 games back before that was against Wolves, where he concedes a card in the first 10 minutes. Now, not being funny, nothing. I know Burnley ain't the paciest of teams, but they've still got some half-decent players. Dwight Neal will have a field day, right? He can turn Dawson inside out. And but he's on the wing. Soufal will be stuck to him. Soufal won't give him an inch. Soufal will be on the back of his heels constantly because we'll know Moyes will have sort of pinpointed him. He is their threat. He's their version of sort of I'll say Masuaku in the way, or so the lad who brings the ball up the pitch. He is that man for them. Yeah, is it like James Wood says here? James and Cathal, do you think Suchek is due a big performance? You can tell he's been more defensive. He's been due one for a while. It's just I can't see it happening when he's playing sort of out and out defensive midfield. Do you know what?
I think Souček is getting a bit exposed now, right? Because he's not an attacking threat no more. Like when Rice is there, he knows he can go forward. That's why he's more of an attacking threat. I don't think I've even seen him.
Yeah, I'll agree with it to some extent. Like I whenever you see the links to him to like PSG or Bayern, I'd say he'd never have been a player for them because he's not a technically amazing player, but he works for us, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, but the last couple of games, he hasn't been putting up any trees, in my opinion. I think Rice and him suit each other. Rice sits, he goes, and
Yeah,
it's
they're
just.
a duo.
Do you know what I mean? And like, I don't know, mate.
If Rice was stuck there with Noble in midfield, Rice wouldn't look as good either.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Rice has been a big miss for Souček, if that makes sense. Like, because Souček as a threat going forward, he's like phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? And that's why when in the January window when I kept repeating and saying we need a covering midfielder. So it's like we needed a covering midfielder and we end up getting no one. And Scott's here. Scott's with the free Benrahma hashtag. Yeah, and yeah, I agree with Scott though, mate. I really do. And so yeah, it's going to be interesting on tomorrow, mate. But before I wrap it up, because I think like no one wants to come on and like have a chat on. I think. Do you know what I mean? So.
Is Duke coming on?
I'm not. Well, I said send me a message and I'll send him a link, but obviously not. But I don't know where he is. Come on, James. It's not like we can bring Rosalian or Bonados and our best, most solid centre backs. Yeah, I agree. Abona, right? But Diop is like. Let's be honest here. Diop's only played since Sheffield United home game. He's been in and out of the team, and yet again. And I tell you what, the best way of summarising that is Diop is the same version as Benrahma. Now, Diop, the first season with us, was being touted as a £65 million defender. Yet again, he's lost his way a bit, and everyone wants to chuck him out the door. Do you know what I mean? It's just.
Yeah, but he's 2 years, and there are times he has impressed, but he's too inconsistent. As you see, the problem is as a defender, same as a goalie. If you're inconsistent in that position, you get a lot more. It will be shown a lot more than if you're an inconsistent attacker.
I think we have a major problem if we're picking Diop over if we're picking Dawson over Diop. I think when you are looking at
because Dawson's proven to be a bit more solid at times. Diop's probably the technically better defender. It's just he's not showing it.
Jay Woods, if you've messaged me on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, come on and I'll send you the link. But yeah, I don't understand it. I really don't, and I can't speak. And Luke says here, £65 million defender, paper talk. Manchester United we're looking at him, mate, and I know that.
Mourinho liked him.
Yeah, Mourinho liked to look at him and said, "You know what? Where'd you get him from? He's a good quality defender."
But wasn't he the captain of Toulouse?
Yeah.
How he shows no captaining ability to me. This might be just me being a bit harsh, but he seems like he needs leaders around him. He seems a bit he still seems a bit too young for his age. You know that he seems like he's a bit immature. For someone, I don't understand how that lad was a captain.
Yeah, but then but then you can look at it and go, Declan Rice is our captain.
Yeah, but Declan Rice never shuts up.
Oh yeah, but like
Declan Rice has the leadership traits to him. I don't see any of the leadership traits in Issa Diop.
Yeah. I agree. I do agree with you on that one. I do. I think like it's just a tough one though, mate, isn't it? Let's be honest. Like if he's over in France and they're saying like who wants to be captain, and he says, well, he might have even put himself up for it. You don't know. Do you know what I mean? But what's your prediction for tomorrow?
Look good on the CV.
Yeah, it would do. Yeah. What's your prediction for tomorrow, mate?
5 at the back, maybe a draw. I can't say the score yet. I'll need to I'm not going to predict it because it's so unpredictable right now. Because I don't want to sort of even have to think about it. I just want to It's one of those I'm a bit nervous for. I just want to have to wait and see what happens. It depends on the team really. It just if we're 5 at the back with sort of a dodgy enough looking team, I can see a draw or a sneaky loss happening. But we need to just go at them, and we're well good enough to win if we just go at them. And I've said that for most of the last few shows I've been on. I've said that about nearly every team because we're good enough to beat every team in the league. That's the thing. When we've the fully fit squad, there is like we've even shown it against teams like City. City aren't this unbeatable thing. Like they're not this entity. They are beatable. It's just they're better than everyone, which is true. But we just have to play the right squad, and I know we've injuries, which doesn't help. But if we have the right players out there, we're well good enough to beat bloody Burnley. Like,
right, if Rice comes back tomorrow and he starts, what do you think would happen?
If who? Sorry, who'd you say?
Rice.
We if we go forward the back with Rice, it should be ours to win.
I think personally, if Rice comes back, I think if Rice comes back tomorrow, if I'm honest, I think we win. I think he's that big. I think
he's not our captain for no reason. Like he's a huge player for us.
We need him back, mate, and it all goes back to the England 100%. Game. Do you know what I mean?
Bloody international football ruining everything.
It is, mate. I'll tell you that now. And what did I keep saying? What did I keep saying?
I know I'm a salty Ireland fan who doesn't get to watch any good international football, but I just don't like international football in general because it's just I'm more of a club fan anyway.
And you know what?
We were good, I'd rather watch West Ham play.
Even though what Gatesy saying about John Lundstrom, he's a good hard-working player, mate. But he's like
a midfield Dawson. He's this hardy sort of lad who doesn't take any shit.
But I'll tell you, who I would have
for free.
I'd have that Mario. Was it Lima or Lerma? Whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Lamina. Yeah. I watched him for Fulham, and he gets the ball down. He passes the ball about well.
But he's also one of them lads that hasn't always had. With both teams, he's been at Fulham and Southampton. I know he's only on loan at Fulham, but he hasn't had a lot of game time. I don't know, maybe he has a bad attitude in training or something. But he looks good. Sometimes he looks really shit. Sometimes he looks class. But he's never got consistent game time. So
I mean, I got
if it's only 7 or 8 million.
Hold on a minute, man. I've got a new person in the house. Jay, how you doing, brother?
How's it going on, lads? You well?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Talk to me, mate. What's going on? What's your thoughts?
Tomorrow is massive. If we don't win tomorrow, then you can just call off Champions League, I'd say.
Yeah. And
I think I've already half signed off Champions League anyway. We just have to keep bloody fighting for it. That's the thing.
Yeah. And how do you want us to set up tomorrow, mate?
Sorry, can you say that again?
I said, how do you want us to set up tomorrow? What system? What players?
Definitely 4-2-3-1. Definitely. If we play 5 at the back, then I can just see us definitely holding out for a draw. Have to go attacking.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask you. I will ask you because I will ask anyone who comes on this platform. What is your thoughts on Said Benrahma?
God, don't say anything wrong. He'll come for you.
He needs more game time.
Yeah. No, honestly, Jay, I'm gonna let you express yourself, mate. You tell me what you think. Obviously, everyone knows my thoughts. Yeah, the floor is yours. Yeah.
Yeah. If I was Moyes now, you have to play 4-2-3-1. Have maybe Lingard up top, Benrahma on the left, Fornals maybe in the centre, Bowen on the right, and then I don't know who you're going to put in with Souček, but maybe Noble or someone. You know. Yeah,
it is Noble. From what I've heard, and a reliable source and a friend of the show has told me that Noble's injured tomorrow. Now, I swear to God, if I see Noble running out there tomorrow, I think everyone's going to be in his DMs and start giving them some bare load of abuse. But yeah, what do you think about?
He's got to be shafted if Noble's playing.
Yeah, I know. So would I. Jay, what do you think the score will be tomorrow, mate?
I'm feeling fairly confident now. I say maybe 3-1 if we play 4-2-3-1. But if we play 5 at the back, then I can't see us getting anything more than a draw.
Well, I'll ask you, what do you think on 5 at the back? Because I don't like it myself. I think it's too negative. I think, because as a West Ham fan of many years, I don't see us being a good defensive team. Well, we're not good defensively. And West Ham's not known for being good defensively. We're good at going forward and attacking teams, and like the West Ham way, basically. Go attack, you know what I mean? What's your thoughts on 5 at the back, mate? It's been happening recently a lot.
If you're missing Masuaku, definitely sack off 5 at the back, because I don't think Johnson can do a job left wing back. I think maybe right back, right wing back, but left wing back, he's just cutting in on the right the whole time. So it's very predictable. But
he's not progressive enough either. He's not even if he's playing at right back, I couldn't expect him to be an attacking right back at the best of times. So he's not a wing back in general.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. And so, what's your prediction for tomorrow, then, mate? I know you're feeling very confident. What's your score prediction?
If we play 4-2-3-1, I'm going for 3-1. But if we play 5 at the back, maybe 1-1, I think. Wait, what do you think the score will be?
Me, personally, you've just said my score, 1-0. I think, well, from history, we don't win at Burnley. That's going on history, and I do go on history because Newcastle game another week. Everyone said we're going to go up there and win 4-0, and I'm sorry, but we just don't.
Steve Bruce as well. Steve Bruce fucking loves playing against us.
I know, right? But I just know West Ham too well, mate. And I know full well that we just don't win at Newcastle. And this is another game that we don't win at. We don't win at Burnley. Burnley's a tough place to go and win. I think that it's just not a good place to go and get anything from, and I think they'll be up for it to take points off us. I've got someone else who's joined us. You know what I mean? The better half of Falls from Irons. You know what I mean? Wait till I see the other half.
No. Beaver, don't be like that.
No.
Wait till I see the other half. Yeah,
Duke's a good lad. I'm not gonna talk about that topic. Okay,
that's for Tuesday.
Let's not go down that road.
Yeah. Well, he was here, now he's disappeared again. Do you know what I mean? Where's he gone? He'll be back. He'll be back. So yeah, Jay, honestly, mate, I really hope you're right. We do win up there 3-1. I hope we win 4-1. And I hope we score a bundle of goals.
We win 7-2.
You know what I mean? Well, he thinks we're going to go up there and give a team an hammering. I just can't see it myself. Do you know what I mean? I really can't. He's back. He's back in the room.
Blame it on the beer. Blame it on the beer.
What is it? What is it, Katie?
It's Engel Gold, which is a German lager from the Sausage Man. So there you go.
Jeez. I can't be that bad. It's German.
Gatesy, what do you? Obviously, I watched your preview, Forge from Irons. Go and check them out. They got the Duke. You know I love you, mate. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I'm sorry, but I just don't agree with you on this one. But you know what I mean?
All about opinions, James, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all about opinions.
The thing is,
boring if we all sat here and went, yes. You know, I agree.
The thing is, though, Gatesy, I would ask you this, and I'll be honestly serious when I say this. Yeah. If he doesn't play tomorrow, he might as well be sold, isn't it?
If he doesn't play tomorrow, and we've got Rice, Noble, Antonio, Cresswell, and Masuaku out, he has no future at this club. How can you have all of them players out if all of those players are out, and obviously they might not be, but if all of those players were out and he was still on the bench, I don't see he's got a future at the club. Rightly or wrongly, I just can't make a case for him having a future at the club if those players are all out. Yeah.
Do you think, Gatesy, right? Do you think this is starting to become an habit now, though, where it becomes like it looks like it's just doesn't want him on it's not like he's a bad influence. I don't think he's a bad influence, Benrahma, but I just don't think he's just like Moyes just doesn't want to play him. And when he does play him, it's like when we're losing.
The only thing I would say, James, is listen. I want to see Benrahma, and I've said it. You know my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
I think that you need to. I think that to judge any player, not specifically Saeed Benrahma, any player. I think you need to see them for a minimum of 6 games, playing a minimum of 70 minutes, possibly 10 games, minimum of 70 minutes consecutively. Yeah. If at the end of that you look and you go, they've given absolutely nothing. They've not sort of like done their job to a minimum standard. Then I'd be the first to put my hands up and go, no. Has he had that? No, he probably has. Well, no, not he probably hasn't. He definitely hasn't. But now this is the but, and this is the imponderable that us as supporters cannot know. And I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Is that none of us see him in training. That's the only thing. None of us see him in training. And I don't know if you remember this, but there was an open training session.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people made reference to the fact that his shooting. Yeah, a lot of people made reference that his shooting was absolutely shocking. And I just wondered on the back of that, hang on, is this possibly the reason? Is it possibly that David Moyes is seeing something in training and he's looking and thinking, I don't trust you in a Premier League game, especially against one of the big boys, or in a match where, you know, my qualification for Europe is on the line or whatever. Yeah, that's the only thing. I looked at that and I saw some comments and I thought, is this the reason?
I agree there. Do you know what? And I will openly criticise him there because I watched that. Right, I watched that.
One of those French lads who's one of those. You know how I'm not trying to sound like someone against French people, but there's a lot of them classic sort of things of French footballers who are just not arsed with the training and they've egos and all. He could just be one of those sort of players.
Now, I'll be honest with you, though. I'll make Gatesy right. I do make Gatesy right on this because I watched that training session and I thought his shooting was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
It was like,
yeah, we don't know as fans whether that was just a one-off or whether that's something that's replicated day on day, week on week, month on month. If it is, then I would completely say, yeah, fine. You know, I get it, not a problem. But like I say, that's the thing. That's the one thing that we as fans don't know. Is David Moyes seeing something in training that's making him go, not
He's a
me?
creative player, isn't he, though? Like,
yeah, massively.
You know,
but
like for Souček,
is he doing it in training
as well? He picked that pass from Souček.
First touch sort of pass.
Yeah, like playing him as a cam, like he can definitely cause damage.
I just don't see they've played 4-2-3-1 once this season when Benrahma, Bowen, Lingard, and Antonio have played, and that was against Arsenal. And I would like that to see that against your Brightons and your Burnleys and your West Broms. You know what I mean? Because then you could get a fair assessment. I know Arsenal. Listen, I know Arsenal come back, and I know keep using that game, but that game to me proved a lot. It proved that like you got 4 top quality attackers running at someone's defence. Right, you got pace, either flank, you got people running through the middle, and you got Antonio bulldozing his
it
way
also
through.
shows how important someone like Fornals is, though, whenever he's missing.
I think what I put in the chat earlier, though, I think, as I say, a big part of this is Jesse Lingard. And I think that if he wasn't signed, then I think Saeed Benrahma has one less obstacle in his path. But obviously, you can't argue. I mean, Lingard obviously deserves his spot. I'm not saying that Lingard shouldn't be playing. So anyone that's thinking, am I making a case for Lingard being dropped in favour of Benrahma? I absolutely am not. No way. But all I'm saying is that I think that possibly the signing of Jesse Lingard may have provided an obstacle to Saeed Benrahma's progression at West Ham that he obviously didn't have up to that point. And obviously Lingard's come in, he's been an absolute phenomenon as far as we're concerned. And for him to try and live up to that standard is incredibly difficult. Yeah.
I wouldn't put it... I don't not disagree with you there. I think Lingard coming in has jeopardised it a bit. But I do think there's been times before where he's been coming on the pitch and people have been going, Saeed Benrahma, be an hero. like changed the game for us. And we're
But I think the thing is that people were expecting the second coming of Dimitri Payet. I think that's possibly been the thing, is that we've looked at him in the Championship for Brentford for 2 seasons or so, absolutely ripping it up. And I always remember my younger brother turned around to me when he first went to Brentford, more or less, and said, "Rob, obviously you got to see this guy play. He is something else. He is too good for the Championship." And when we signed him, he was excited. I was excited, but I do wonder. Is it? I'm not saying it is, but I'm just wondering: is this a guy that is one of these players that at a Championship level he looks mustard, at a Premier League level he looks a standard player? I need to see more of him before I can make a judgment.
Yeah. So from what you have seen, Rob, from what you've seen this season, if you was rating Benrahma out of 10, what would you rate him from what you've seen?
If I'm being honest and saying, and I have to include the times where he's come on as a sub for 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, I'm probably going to say a 6 if I'm being honest. All of it, I would probably say a 6.
Now, I wouldn't not disagree with you there. I would probably say a 7, right?
Okay.
And the only reason, I'm not saying he's an 8 or 9, because I'm not that fucking deluded, right? But I would say a 7 for the fact that the games that he has been involved in, he's been a massive influence. Like the Palace game he was a big influence.
Yeah, Leeds away.
And Leeds home and away. Like he's made things
with
happen.
The Antonio things as well, with them extra assists. If you got them extra assists,
and even the Arsenal game when he fed the ball across for Antonio and he has an 18-foot goal to aim at, hits the post again. Right, like you know what I mean. So if I was rating him so far this season, I'd give him a 7. I think he hasn't done anything. I think he's done more right than wrong, and I will stand by that. I think he's done a lot more good than bad.
Yeah.
And and I don't see how the bad outweighs the good. If I'm honest, I'm gonna put that to Jay. Jay, if you was to rate Benrahma out of 10, what would you give him, mate?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I'd say about a 7. When he has played, like you said in other videos as well, the stats don't lie. He has performed when he starts. Like he does deliver. He just needs run of games, and Moyes is just too conscious of changing the formation.
Can I ask a question on that, though? Because you're saying, obviously, the games he starts. I agree. If you're talking about from a start, he might nudge into a 7. But if you add in the games where he's come on as a sub, and even if it's just for 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, that added to that, does he still maintain a 7 for you?
Yeah, he does, because every time he has been brought on, we're just chasing the game. And it's tough for him to come in and try and make an impact when we're chasing the game all the time.
I'll just cut in there, Jay, and I'll let you carry on, mate. We ain't just chasing a game. Sometimes we're defending a game. Like with 3-0 against Leicester, he comes on. We're defending. Wolves were defending with 6 minutes to go. So there's two sides of the coin. Like you can look at it. You can say, right, when he comes on, last thing we want him to do is to attack. Do you know what I mean?
That's true. That's 100% true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
completely agree.
Like, how can you have someone like attacking when we're trying to defend? If that makes sense. But go on, Jay, carry on, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Like he just needs to be playing frequently. Like coming off the bench, it's just not. It's not happening at the moment. He just needs to be in the team, get to know the team. But Moyes just doesn't trust him, I think. You know.
That's what I'm glad Duke can count. It is a 7 from me, Dukey. You know what I mean? No, say no more. And he's gone low 6, barring on 5. I love Duke. Duke, just remember, mate, don't hate, appreciate. I love you, mate. Caffel, out of 10, mate, rate Benrahma.
Starting, or like even when he plays, like give him sort of the definitely a 6, maybe a 7, but overall it's sort of high 5, 6, just because, and maybe it's just because I had so much hope for him and he hasn't had the time to prove himself to me. But I that's just my opinion, really. I'll just give him a 6 sort of overall, but That's kind of it.
Can I put this to you? Can I put this to you guys? In the games where he's been brought on as a sub, and I appreciate that, he's coming on as a sub with 20 minutes to go or whatever. But in any of the games that he's come on as a sub, can you honestly say that he's ever come on, taken the game by whatever the circumstances, whether we're ahead, whether we're behind, taken a game by the scruff of the neck and said to David Moyes, I dare you to put me on the bench next week?
I'd like to answer that one. I'd love to answer that one straight away. Right. Well, if we look at the recent games, if we go and look at the last sort of 5, Newcastle away, he comes on without the 10 men. We're chasing the game. Like, what are we expecting the man to do? Turn into prime Messi, like run around like 3 or 4 players and start banging in goals left, right, and centre. The Wolves game, he gets 6 minutes. Now, if we're expecting him to do something in 6 minutes, then I'm sorry, but we're all mad. Do you know what I mean? And the Leicester game, we're getting bombarded in the last sort of 10 minutes, and he's come on to sort of stretch the play, to basically carry the ball up the pitch to get away from the defence. So, to me, he's doing exactly what he's been told to do. Like, against Newcastle, what can he do? Against Chelsea, he comes on the 70th minute. We get a man sent off on the 80th minute. Like, I'm not so making excuses, but it's just the facts don't lie. Like, against Arsenal, he'd done the job. He comes off, and then we can see another one. Do you know what I mean? So, for me, I agree, Joke. He hasn't done anything amazing, but we've also got to look at it. Like, sometimes the things he is doing, he's coming on and we're defending. Like, our backs are against the wall and we're trying to defend a lead, so to speak. Like, and I'll use the Leicester and Wolves games as prime examples.
But even in the whole season terms, there has been no point where he has gone on. I know there's lots of times where it's only for 5 minutes. I don't expect anything then. But even in the 15, 20 minutes, however long he gets, there has been no points I can remember him sort of going, as Gatesy said, there's no way you can bench me now.
Yeah, no, but let me ask this then, right? Let me ask this. What are we expecting the man to do for 6 minutes and 10 minutes? Like, if we're defending.
Oh, I'm not on about them ones.
Yeah, but then name me another game. If someone can name me another game where he's come on and, like,
Fulham,
I can't think
did he get the assist? But he didn't he didn't do anything amazing. He just got an assist.
Do you know what? I'll be honest. I'll tell you what I think part of it is. Maybe not the entire thing. I think part of it is mentality. I think some players, when they're set a challenge coming off of the bench, I think some players will go, like I say, have that mentality that I'm going to play the game that says to you, the manager, drop me if you dare. And whether you've got 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, I think there are some players that rise to that challenge. And I think as an outsider looking in, I wonder whether Benrahma is one of these players that can't play from the bench. Do you know what I mean? There are some players that from the bench just cannot.
He needs the tempo
because they perhaps have had their confidence dented as a result of being on the bench in the first place. I just wonder whether he's one of these players.
The thing is, though, Rob, it's also the way we're setting up, in my opinion. If we're setting up in a negative way, and we're expecting him to come on, and I know Duke's trying to troll me in the comments. I love it, right? I'm loving it.
I know it's not always.
I can't see the comments, so I've got no idea.
We are fifth in the league. We are fifth in the league. So,
He's trying to say that I think he's as good as Messi. I don't think he's as good as Messi, but are we expecting him to come on and start running around like 2 or 3 players? And do you know what I mean?
I think some players are sort of like, you know, sometimes you get players that you refer to as super sub, and they will come on and they'll change a game and they'll score a goal and they'll make an assist or whatever. But then when they're started, they're not quite the same player. Like a prime example being Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he was at Manchester United, was a guy that, when he came off the bench, scored goals, created assists, made things happen, but didn't quite have the same impact when he started. I wonder whether Said Benrahma is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer reversed.
Yeah, but let me ask this. I just want to ask this, and then I'll go around everyone, then I'm going to wrap it. Right? Let me ask this: when we're up against it, right? Like Newcastle, right? He whipped a good ball in for one of the players. He gets cleared. He didn't do much against Newcastle, but did anyone? Do you know what I mean? Like Lingard didn't do much. He was like, he's been this masterclass play. He scored the penalty, but he didn't do much at Newcastle. Like, it was a poor team performance. But when he's coming on for 6 minutes and 12 minutes, I just want to ask everyone this: what are you expecting him to do? Because if we're expecting him to start, beat a load of players, go in there, smash the ball in the top corner, that's not how it works. Do you know what I mean? He's a human being at the end of the day. He's also got to be given confidence, in my opinion. And I'll start off with Rob with that. What do you think, Rob?
Again, I wonder if he's just one of these players that's geared up that you get the best out of him when he starts, and that when he's coming off of the bench, is that he's in the back of his mind. He's one of these players that instead of him having the mentality of, okay, I'm going to go out there and whether I'm on for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever the case may be, I am going to grab this game by the scruff of the neck. I'm going to turn this game on its head, and I will dare you. I will dare you next week to put me on the bench. I don't think he's that type of player. That's not a criticism. It's an observation. I just think he's one of these players that if he's starting from the bench, he's a little bit on a downer, because he's kind of, instead of him having the mentality that I'm going to go out there and I'm going to dare you to drop me next week, he's like a bit sort of, manager doesn't fancy me, whatever. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I just wonder whether he's one of those players that has that sort of mentality. Yeah.
Jay, what do you think on that, mate? Obviously, with the Benrahma thing, what you've been hearing.
Yeah, it's tough for Benrahma because on one side you have Moyes saying ball retention, keep the ball, and then on the fan side they're like, he's not doing anything. So in his own head, he's probably second guessing himself. From what I've seen, he doesn't know whether to keep the ball or to take the player on. So he needs confidence. If he gets if he starts tomorrow and scores a goal, I think we'll see a completely different side.
Jay, if he scores a goal tomorrow, mate, you watch the fat boy go around every person's Twitter feed, mate. Trust me, I will be trolling every person up and down the land, mate. I'll be on every site posting the man's face if he scores the goal tomorrow. And Forge for Mines is the first one on the hit list.
Oh no,
Caffel. Before I wrap it up, mate, final thought on the Benrahma thing.
Of course, he needs confidence. But you can't just get confidence. Isn't a tablet. It's not anything like that. It's not something someone can give him. He needs to, as Gatesy said, I don't remember him going and of course I want him to play more. But when he's come on off the bench, and I know a lot of it's been limited time and tough situations and all, but sometimes you just have to say, fuck it, grab it by the scruff of the neck, and he hasn't done that yet. And it's been it has been tough, and because there's been times where we've been defending and bringing him on in that situation, and there's been times where he's only been on for 5 minutes. But he's had he just needs to go out there and just show us his worth and show us how good he is, because we all know he has the talent in there.
I wonder whether it's he's gone from a situation where he was the main man at Brentford. Let's not kid ourselves. He's gone from a championship team where he was the main man. He's gone to a Premier League team where, for whatever reason,
the opposite of Lingard.
He's now a bit part player. And that's what he is right now. We can't dress it up any other way. Right now, rightly or wrongly, he's a bit part player in a Premier League team, as opposed to last season and the season before when he was the main man in the championship team. I wonder whether he's one of these players, as I say, that he's very much a confidence player, and right now his confidence is
he hasn't got any
on the floor.
No.
He hasn't got any confidence, mate, if I'm honest. And do you know what, Gatesy? Just to wrap it up, and I just want to, before I say this, I've just got a few questions from your partner in crime. Let's try and get, if Benrahma missed the opportunities that Antonio has, would you batter him like Antonio? Yes, I would. Antonio's missed X amount of chances, has hit the post about 7 times this season, 4 of them against Palace. So, yeah, I would criticise him for that. And Benrahma's assisted most of them chances for Antonio. I'd just like to add that. And 1 goal in 13 starts, if he does, and you do that, dear me, it's a sad time to be alive. It is, mate. It's a sad time when people are on the verge of getting sold, like, or people want him out the door because he's not good enough. But yeah, it's. I just
James,
think.
can I ask you a question, real honestly?
Yeah, go on.
If do you see he's got a future at the club next season? Do you think he's still a West Ham player next season?
I think if we get Ivan Toney, this is what I honestly believe. Yeah, if we get Ivan Toney, I think that helps the situation because they was together at Brentford. They worked well together at Brentford. I personally think
they weren't, James. He came at the beginning of this season. They played about 2-3 games together. Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney never
went there this season.
Ivan Toney's been there 2 years, mate. 100%. My mate said that to me. He said,
he only signed for them from Peterborough.
He signed at the beginning of this season.
What, this season? He hasn't been with Brentford.
This season.
He signed the same season we signed Benrahma.
Yep. They played about 2-3 games together, mate. That's it.
Who was oh man, who was it? No, it was the BMW. No, it's my fault. No, it's my fault.
Watkins and Mbuemo.
No, the BMW trio. Mbula, Benrahma, and Watkins. That's my bad. I got that wrong. Yeah, he said when he was there with Watkins and Mbula, I think his name is. They was a good good three. Yeah, and he was like, I just don't understand it. How we're supposed to be building a team, and we've got people like Yarmolenko at the club, Anderson, who's played 4 games for Porto, and basically everyone wants him to come back and be a starter. I've seen that on Twitter, and I'm thinking, what the hell's going on there? So I don't know, mate. I don't know.
I just we can't read too much into Twitter.
You can't read in too much to Twitter.
Yeah. Well, we will find out, lads. But I'm going to have to let you go because I've got 7% battery and I don't want to cut all yous off. But I want to thank everyone for watching. Take care of yourselves and let's hope for a positive result tomorrow. Jay, thanks for coming on, mate. I do appreciate it. You're welcome on any time. Gatesy, same as always, mate. And Caffel, take care, mate. Thanks for all the comments. Cheers, and Cal. Duke, if you're watching, don't worry, mate. I will bring the facts, the file of facts, and the details for Saeed Benrahma. Much love. Take care and stay safe. Bye.